Hi, in this video we're going to take a quick look at how we can build feedback into a forms quiz that we've created and we're sharing with our students. And this is really beneficial because it allows you to build in a lot of the feedback while you're creating the form in the first place to reduce the amount of time that you spend individually leaving feedback for pupils. And it also allows you to leave individual feedback where you feel that that's necessary. So you can approach it in two different ways. We'll have a look at both. So if we have this form here as an example, the one that we looked at previously when we were talking about how to create our own quiz and how to add marks and so on. If we look at any of the individual questions here, so for example, this first one, at the moment, if a pupil gets this incorrect and we mark the answer incorrect, we would either have to tell them in person, what the correct answer was, or we would have to leave a feedback comment in some other format, manually typed in. But if we go into the answer key here, you'll see that actually we have an option to add answer feedback. And for multiple choice questions, you can either add incorrect or correct answer feedback independently. So this means that when the pupil has completed the form and you have graded it, they can open it back up. So in our classroom, when we have returned their work as marked, they can go into that assignment and they can click on the form, they'll open it up and they'll see all of the feedback comments that are attached. So the feedback for an incorrect answer might be remedial, just saying submarine was yellow. And correct answers, it might be some sort of extension task that we would send them to go and have a look at. You'll also notice at the bottom that we have options to add a link, which could link to a particular resource to support them developing their understanding, or an extension task, and likewise we can link to a YouTube video. So if we save that, you'll see here that we now have built-in feedback for that particular question, and we can edit it or we can delete that feedback at any point we want to. Now, it's worth bearing in mind if you look at short answer or extended response questions, when you go to the answer key, the answer feedback option only provides the option to leave one feedback comment, regardless of whether it's correct or incorrect. And I think that's simply because the form doesn't necessarily know how to differentiate between a correct and incorrect answer if it's an extended response question like this, and you have to actually tell it. So in this case, you would just leave a generic feedback comment. And in my case, I usually find it really useful if you have a marking scheme or a model answer to put that into there, so that if the pupil has not got the answer correct, they can have a look over the feedback and they'll see what the model answer was and they can compare that to their own answer. Or it may be, if it was more of an essay style question, you would add a list of all the accepted points that you were looking for, and then again the pupil can review that in relation to their own responses. So that's basically a way of building in feedback at the outset, so that every pupil will be able to see that feedback. However, if you have pupils completing an assignment, so if we take a look back at this one we did before, we've got this response and we look at a particular question, you'll see that that's got that feedback there that was built in by me already. So let's move on to another question at the end here. So say this was their answer here, and we didn't have built-in feedback, and even if we did, we could amend it so it would show up in this area here. But if we click add feedback, that will allow us to add in our feedback comment. And that pupil, when they come back and open the form, will then see this comment that's been attached to them. So you can leave a generic feedback comment that covers most of the issues that you're likely to encounter, and then you could maybe just only modify the ones that you needed to. You'll also notice if I delete this, I use the Mote extension, which gives me this little icon here that allows me to actually record spoken feedback. So in any case, we can record feedback either verbally or a written comment, and that means that the people can come back in and hopefully better understand what they would need to do next.